as Amazon MGM Studios starts their marketing plan for Rings of Power Season 3, and with the trailer that's recently dropped, we have a lot of information that we need to go over here in preparation for this next season. Now, I'll be honest with you, a lot of it is going to be garbage, but there's some decent news at the end I'm looking forward to discussing with you. With that said, let's dive right into the garbage, starting with Galadriel and Celeborn. Now, apparently Celeborn is back, Galadriel's husband, where he's been for the last century. No one has any idea, but I'm sure we're going to be finding out in the next season. With that said, we do have a love triangle going on with Galadriel, Sauron, and Celeborn, courtesy of the Nerdist that has been confirmed by the showrunners themselves, and I'm just like, dear God, why? Now, with that said, we're not sure if it's just Galadriel and Sauron that have a thing, or if it's going to be Celeborn, Galadriel, and Sauron that way. Like, how exactly is this all going to work? Because it does imply in this article that there is a history between Celeborn and Sauron, but what exactly that is, we don't know. They don't really go into specifics of this video. Now, I do want to play a video here from the star of Sauron so you can get an idea of what their thoughts are.
The thing with Celeborn is when Sauron meets Celeborn, if Sauron meets Celeborn, well, let's face it, they're going to meet at some point. They have their own shared history. They've both been around for hundreds of years. So, like, they have this kind of thing. Oh, it's like, oh. And then there's also this other added thing of, by the way, I've been hanging out with your wife.
Yeah, I'm not really looking forward to it, especially after his description of it. But you know what? We'll have to wait and see exactly how it all plays out. I'm not going to imagine anything good, but it's going to be monstrous one way or another. Speaking of monsters, we have the orcs that are being shown in the trailer here. And the orcs, once more, are trying to be portrayed as more complex characters than they actually are. For whatever reason, the showrunners cannot accept the idea that these creatures are supposed to be an evil mechanism that the Dark Lord uses. Yes, I know Tolkien himself struggled with the idea of having a race that's purely evil, but at the end of the day, that is what he created them to be. That is how they function. That is what the orcs are. They are more like automatons that do the bidding of the Dark Lord versus more something like man who has free will, because I've never really seen an orc with a free will, especially when they have a Dark Lord that comes in that gives them purpose, commands, and direction. And Sauron at this time is going to be giving them all the correction and direction that they need. Now, the show has in the past tried to make you feel for the orcs, try to make you think like if it wasn't for Sauron showing up and if it wasn't for the people of Middle Earth condemning the orcs actually could be a good people. No, that is not a chance in any way, shape, or form. The orcs is a dark race, evil to the bone. And the sooner that they accept that, the better off we all are. But that's just how they want to treat monsters in Middle Earth. With the treatment of monsters, speaking of going on here, we have the Balrog. And apparently, the one thing that the Balrog really needed was to have a voice by Simon Pegg. Now, let me just say, I like Simon Pegg in a lot of his works, especially in Star Trek when he plays Scotty. Great work. And then a lot of his other productions that he's been in and starred in. I love the man, he's good. But the voice of the Balrog, I'm sorry, Simon Pegg, I just don't see that as a role for you. Maybe someone with a more deeper voice, maybe someone who has a bit more grit, maybe someone like a Josh Brolin, but Simon Pegg, I'm sorry. Like, you have this monster here who's supposed to be this creature of shadow and flame that is supposed to bring terror to you. And I just don't really get that with his voice. Now, with that said, this article here from Variety cannot come up with a better way to describe the Balrog besides a magma monster. Like, all you had to do is go to Wikipedia Variety and actually look it up. Like, Austria Jacob, I'm sorry, what in the world, like, you call it a mega monster? Like, sorry, I shouldn't be caught up on that, but it just infuriates me. Like, it's easy enough to just look up what is the Balrog. Oh, he's a creature of shadow and flame who is a Maiar like Sauron. Oh, and another thing they want the Balrog to do is to help forge Sauron's ring. You know, that one ring that if it gets destroyed, he's in deep trouble. Yeah, the Balrog, he's just going to go over, help his mate out, and they're going to forge it because they are both in the same army of Morgoth. Isn't that great? The army of evil working together. Yeah, no, that's going to end badly, because somehow the Balrog still needs to go back to Khazad Dûm, so is there falling out? What exactly is happening here? It's just messing up the lore more that does not need to happen, but as they've already proven, who cares about the lore? We're just playing with it as a jump rope at this point in time. And that jump rope is continued to be played with when you have the ring race showing up this early in the story. Apparently, Avatar's gone out, given all the rings out to the men, and they immediately have come under his thrall because it looks like they're already serving him and doing dark deeds because they look like they're proto ring race compared to what we saw in the Lord of the Rings of Peter Jackson's film. So in my understanding, is that the ring race slowly fell to the corruption of the rings that Sauron provided them. That these men were great warriors, kings, poets, just great men of their day, and they were consumed by the evil of the ring and became thralls of Sauron. Like, some of them could be good men. Some of them could be taking that power for righteous causes, and then we could see the tragedy of them falling. A lot of them could be evil, but you could at least have some of them have a tragic falling, like, oh wow, I know where it's going, but damn, I don't want them to fall into the dark side. But you already let that happen. They're already in this black clad armor, so they're already evil and under the will of Sauron. Like, okay. I mean, the control of the rings didn't fully take effect until the One Ring was forged. But if you're having them serve them already before the One Ring is forged, you're kind of putting the cart ahead of the horse here. But this is Amazon Studios going ahead and making trash with green people. I cannot stress enough how green these people are and how disrespectful they are to actual Tolkien lore. I mean, it's not even just us people who are fans of Tolkien, it's the general audience. How do I know it's the general audience? Well, we'll just go back to season 1 and take a look. You had 25 million people show up for the premiere, which is great. Well done, Amazon. Except for here's the issue, only 37% of the people who started the show ended up finishing it. Apparently, 67% of them never finished it, having a total of 8 billion minutes watched, which is still sounds great, until you get to the second season, where roughly only 3 billion minutes were watched, significantly cut back from what you saw with the first season. And for staying with trends like that, the third season does not bode well for Amazon. But we'll have to wait and see exactly how it all turns out. But man, at this moment in time, I was sweating bullets as I was working over at Amazon. I mean, then again, Jennifer Salke, who was the one who pioneered uh, Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power, she is gone now. So I guess if you could say if it goes downhill any further, you can just blame it on her. Like, hey, you know, we had to make this. We were contractually obligated. We invested $1 billion into it. It wasn't our fault, boss. Jeff Bezos. Don't blame us. It was her problem. We just had to finish it off. It already was a trash fire. It was already an embarrassment. I know you wanted this to be your Game of Thrones that after season 1, season 2, and season 3 just kept on building, getting better. Whereas in the opposite has happened here after season 1, it just got worse. And season 3 looks to be going in that same trajectory. But I want to hear what you guys' thoughts are. Let me know down below. With that, I do want to mention one bright spot in this whole sewer of a mess, and that is that the Harfoots are gone. According to this article from Y Entertainment, we have the showrunner J.D. Payne has told them that it was time for them to take a little bit more of a back seat. Like maybe this entire show can just take a back seat and just go away. Uh, I can't tell you how happy though I am that we no longer have to deal with female Sam and female Frodo. It's nice to see them gone out the story. They didn't add any value at all. It just was there because people like the hobbits in Lord of the Rings, and they're like, oh well, they have hobbits, so we need hobbits. Even though they don't exist technically in this form at this time of age, and Tolkien didn't write anything about these, we need them here. Now, with that said, we do still have Gandalf fighting the Dark Wizard. Exactly who he is, we don't really know for sure yet, but it's going to be some Dark Wizard, presumably maybe one of the Blue Wizards, or maybe a combination of Blue Wizards. Who knows what's going on there? But at least we have a ray of hope that things are being deleted from this series, and hopefully by the end, we can just cut it and just throw it away. But that's what I really gotta say, folks. I don't have much hope for it, but at least we're going in the right direction here. I want to hear what your thoughts are down about all this news. What did you think of the love triangle between Galadriel, Sauron, and Celeborn? What did you think of them bringing the Balrog back and changing the voicing and having someone who I'm not going to say is okay, um, but not bad to have the voice of the Balrog. I just wouldn't prefer him. What did you think of them continue trying to push this narrative with the orcs? And how do you feel about having the ring race already in the story at this point in time? Leave your thoughts down below, and I can't wait to see you. Leave a like a video, leave a dislike if you did not, and don't forget to subscribe. Y'all take care now. Bye.